Hello my friends, today we're going to make a card using some of my new stamps, and we're going to use some colored pencils to get some fun coloring with our stamps. So let's get started. I just wanted to show you the stamp set I'm using. This is Kindness Matters. This is from Stampin' Up! And we'll be using this main butterfly image here. And what I did is, this stamp comes as one, but all I did was I took my craft and rubber scissors and I cut that stamp. So now I have 3 separate stamps. And then I just keep this little extra rubber and stick the stamp back in their place, so that if I want to use them as one stamp again, I can just place the large butterfly back in here and pop them out together and use a large block, and then I have one large stamp again. So this allows me to be more flexible with the stamp set rather than just one. Now I have 3 separate butterfly stamps. So we're going to be using the main large butterfly here today. And so I just have it here mounted on my block, and we're just going to stamp it in Stays On ink on white cardstock. And I'm going to stamp it twice just because I re-inked my Stays On and I think I put too much. So it's a really moist. So I just stamped it twice just in case. And then I just have plain, these are the cheapest color pencils you can find. I bought a pack of 24, so you get at least 2 shades of a color. So I only get 2 blues in there, so I'm going to use those 2 tones. And just like you would any other markers or color pencils, just color in the dark areas where you think there would be shadows or shading. So I'm coloring this butterfly a little bit darker in the middle by its body. And then just for fun, I'm going to also color at the tips in this darker color. Okay, so I have that. Oops, sorry, there you go. Okay, and then I'm just taking the lighter blue and then just coloring in the rest of the wing and just putting lighter pressure. So right now I'm just coloring to get rid of the white. And then I'm just going to go back wherever I see harsh lines, so wherever I kind of think it needs to be blended a little bit, I'm just going to go back and put a little bit more pressure with this lighter blue. And that's how I'm getting my shading, and that's about it. And then if you want your darker areas to be a little bit darker, which I do, I'm just going to go back one more time in those dark areas with my darker color. Okay, so you can see how that came out, and that was just with these cheap color pencils. I hope the lighting's fine there. Okay, and then I saw Jill Foster on one of her videos do this shadowing with some yellow, so I'm going to use yellow. And basically anywhere where there's a V, I'm going to shade lightly in yellow, and it's going to make like this highlight, which is really pretty, which I never would have thought of before. So just kind of behind the wings here and its body. And it just really makes this image pop very simply. So you can see what that did there. Very simple. So I like that. So that's my coloring. And so now we're going to punch that out. I'm going to use my postage stamp punch from Stampin' Up! Just line it up and punch it out. Okay. So that's our focal point for the card. And then I also have some craft cardstock. I wanted to make a circle behind it, so I'm going to use my 1 3/4 circle punch. Okay, so I'm just creating a few layers for visual interest. And then I got some strips of designer paper. This is also from Stampin' Up! This is their from their scrapping kit. So I'm going to layer these somewhat like this. So I just want to get an eyeball of where I want to trim them. And for visual interest, again, I want them at different lengths purposely. Okay, so let me trim those off here. Okay, so now I have these 2 strips, just a little bit offset. My main image will go right on top. And then I also have these stickers that came in the scrapping kit from Stampin' Up! And I think I'm going to use either this dark, I think I'm going to use the dark gray and that's going to go across. So let me adhere this down. Okay, let me adhere this butterfly down. Okay, so that's going to go here. So now I'm going to take one of these stickers. So that blends a little bit too much. Let me see how the blue looks. I like contrast. Yeah, I think I'll go with the blue. So I want that to go across, but not all the way. Just again for visual interest to break it up a little bit. So then I need my sentiment, so I'm going to use this, again, another new set I got. This is Friendly Phrases from Stampin' Up! I love the clean and simple and mixing the cursive with these straight text. So we're going to use this one that says To My Friend. And even though it's a clear stamp, I still want placement. So I'm using my Stamp-A-Majig still. And I'm going to place it right here. And I already have it stamped on my clear sheet when I put it on the block. So I'm going to stamp that in Versamark. Line up my jig, move it away, and now butt up my block and stamp straight down. And then I'm going to emboss that with white embossing powder. Okay, so now that that's embossed, I'm just going to add my butterfly here. And I wanted to add just a little clip for some visual interest and dimension. Let me see. Let me put it here, right there. And that little clip is also from Stampin' Up! And I think I want to round the corners just a little. I'm going to use the 1/4 inch. And there we go. I hope you enjoyed this card and in coloring with your colored pencils. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.